I dodged a bullet with this guy. This man was crazy. Let me tell you what happened. I'm glad I got out when I did because you could tell, like, let me just tell you what happened. So I'm at the gym one day. You know that episode of Squidward? He was doing like the same thing every day and he was so bored. Like, that's literally what I felt like. So I'm like, you know what? Let me just try a new gym to meet more people. You know, where the young people at? Like, let me just try and mingle. So I go to this gym. Like, I went from seeing 30 and 40-year-olds to 20-year-olds, like all the young professionals. Like, this gym was, you know, popping. So I was like, you know what, let me start going here. So I started going there. I'm literally laughing because this was so many red flags and I literally just ignored them. Just hear me out. Mind you guys, this gym be packed. It's a lot of people in here. I'm looking for the racks. I'm trying to get the squats going. They all full. I pass by there like every 15 minutes and it's still full, right? So I'm walking to just find another workout. I'm pissed because I can't get the squat. And then I feel this tap on my shoulder. You guys, it was this guy. He's like, hey, like I'm almost done with this set. I saw you walking by. You can have it whenever I'm done. So I find a little mini workout to do like while I'm waiting for him to get done. He's like, hey, I'm done. You could come over, da-da-da. I'm like, oh, okay, bet, thank you. And then he was like, yeah, I just needed a reason to talk to you. So what? I said, am I being pursued right now? Are you pursuing me right now? I'm awkward around guys. Anyways, let me keep going. I'm like, wait, what? He was like, yeah, how else was I supposed to get you over here? I was like, you're right. Like, you're so beautiful. I saw you pass by a couple times. And I saw you've been coming here for a few days and I needed a reason to talk to you and get you over here. That was really red flag number one, because why is you watching me for that long? Maybe that's how guys is. He was like, yeah, so do you like white guys? Y'all, he was white. Not my usual type, but I'm not opposed to it. Like, I like who I like. I'm like, no, like I've never talked to him. Just trust me, he's literally crazy. So I'm like, no, I'm not opposed to it. Like, I've never talked to a white guy. So he's just sitting there talking to me like, I like you, woo. He's like, oh, I don't want to bother you. I'm gonna go over there. You come over whenever you get done with your workout. I want to say bye to you. I'm like, okay. Here's when it starts, you guys. I'm on abs and I have some missed calls and it was him. And I'm like, dang, I knew I should have gave him my other phone number. I call him back and I'm like, hello. He was like, oh, you wasn't gonna come say bye or something like that. And I'm like, I'm doing abs. Like, oh, but I'm not thinking anything of it. I go over there to say bye and he's like, well, what are you about to do? What are you doing after this?
I forgot to add, you guys, he was pressing to see what red flags I look out for, and I told him I wasn't going to tell him, and he laughed and said I was smart. He's not slick, and he was pressing to see a lot of other things, but I wasn't going for it.
I have a meeting, and I lied. I didn't really have a meeting. I don't like hanging out with guys. I get too much anxiety. I don't know if you're going to pay for me or try to make out with me, and I already know that I'm going to get annoyed because I'm very shallow. I was flattered. I wasn't just ready to just hang out that day. He was like, let's go get a smoothie. I was like, did you not hear what? Like, no, like I have blah 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 to do. He's like, okay, let's go tomorrow. I'm like, I'll let you know. He was like, yeah, and then we can do something on the weekends. What do you like to do? And I'm like, okay. I'm like, I have this to do on the weekends. I have a meeting this day and I gotta film content this day. He's like, so do you want to get a smoothie today or tomorrow? Do you want to go tomorrow? I was like, okay, I'll go tomorrow. I'll go grab a smoothie with you. So the next day comes and he's like, oh, what time are you hitting the gym? We could meet up, go in, work out together, and then leave to go get the smoothie. Mind you, he wasn't even supposed to be there. And I just got there, like, I didn't want people to think that that was my man. It's too much hanging out for me. I don't like that. I really don't. Working out is my time. And I don't know you like I don't want to see you like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, oh, like, I like to work out by myself. Like, it was a long day at work. He's like, oh, no, like, I'm gonna meet you there. We could, like, work out. What time do you think you'll be done so we could go get the smoothie? And I didn't want to tell him what time I'll be done because I didn't want him to go there and wait on me so we could walk out and go get the smoothie. I just kept saying, like, I'll meet you. I'll meet you. Mind you, while we're discussing this, he was calling me trying to plan. It was a lot. So I just stopped texting. I'm like, yeah, I'll see you later for the smoothie. Cool. I don't tell him what time I'm going to the gym. It's finna get juicy, so go to part 2. Welcome back to part 2 of this. This is why I don't date. This guy was borderline crazy. I dodged a bullet. Story time. I felt like he was trying to force an answer out of me and I didn't really like that. So I just was like, yeah, I'll see you later. I'll see you after the gym. Keep it at that. So I'm at the gym, I go on the treadmill, I do my little gym routine, and that was that. Mind you, like, he was calling me. I'm like, oh my gosh. But I'm like, you know what, Jenna, maybe it's because you haven't dated in a long time. Maybe this is, I genuinely forgot how guys were when they are trying to pursue women. After his phone calls, he was texting me, you at the gym? I'm like, no, like, I'm getting in my car now. I meet up with him and he's really nice. So we're eating and we're drinking our smoothie. He was like, yeah, I saw you on the treadmill and did it. Like, how do you even spot me in this crowd full of people. Like, so I thought that was kind of off, maybe. I don't know. This guy is already trying to make plans for this weekend. And I'm just like, okay, like, I'm gonna let you know. Let me figure out if I like you or not. I met this guy like on Wednesday and we was getting a smoothie on Thursday. He was trying to make plans for Friday and saying how he was gonna pick me up on Saturday. I'm like, bro, chill. Like, do your skincare routine to get in your bed tonight first. Every single day for the next 3 days. No, like, I just don't operate like that. A little red flag radar senses was kind of like tingling. So the next day comes. So I wake up to a text and it goes, hey, yeah, let me know if you're available to hang out today. I'll come pick you up. I'm like, what? So I don't respond because I'm like, bro, I just told you that I'm not available this day. I have work. I never even put in his head that this was a possibility. I don't respond to the message and I get some missed calls. And I'm like, bro, what is wrong with this boy? What is not clicking? I finally answer. I'm like, hello. I just been thinking all day about seeing you and I want to see you tonight. And are you available? Can we hang out? I want to see you. Can I see you? I want to see you. Can I see you? I want to see you. Mind you, after that text he sent about hanging out, he texted me again saying how bad he wanted to see me. Let me know if you're still available. Still available? I never told you I was available to begin with. Like, he FaceTimed me. He saw that I was actively doing work and he was like, oh, what time do you think you'll be done with work? I'm like, bro, what? At that point I felt like he was very overbearing. He was extremely clingy. Like, I was getting like extremely turned off. I didn't even think he was that attractive anymore. Like, he was just completely turning me off. Like, stop trying to like get an answer out of me. If I told you no and I told you that this day isn't good, stop trying to convince me that the day is good. So I just get really quiet. He was like, oh yeah, you could just call me later. And he's calling me. I'm not answering. And then he texted me, he was like, you able to just step away from your computer and your laptop and just for 1 second, I wanted to give you something. I wanted to come see you. Before I take my nap, I text him, I'm like, today's not gonna be good. I have a lot of work to do. So I take my nap, wake up to some missed calls, wake up to a message from him, hey, we could just hang out tomorrow. So I wake up and I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna do that. And I only did that because I'm gonna tell him this is not going to work. I don't want to hang out with you. I don't want to get to know you anymore. Too overbearing and pushy for me. After I say yes to go doing something chill and getting a bite to eat, he goes, bet, so like, what time do I need to pick you up tonight? And I'm like, wait, what? And at this point, I'm looking at my phone in disbelief. Something just was not clicking to him that we weren't gonna hang out that night. So that whole day, he's texting and calling and texting and calling, texting and calling. And I'm like, you know what? Let's go. So we make plans to go to Wingstop. I get a call. I find out that something happened in the family. And I tell him, hey, I'm sorry, I can't make it. He basically goes, it's okay. Let's hang out tomorrow. So then the next day goes, I'm telling him that I'm all right, but I break it to him. I'm like, you know what? I find your dating style extremely overbearing. You're really pushy. You're clingy. This was all the stuff that I was going to tell him in person. Didn't get the chance to, but I always get stuck with guys like that. Too clingy, too overbearing. He responds and sends a few paragraphs, but I said my piece. You drove me insane. You turned me completely off. You've officially ruined the dating experience for Jenna B.